Hello, good morning friends. Welcome back to your favorite channel Code One Digest. Today in this tutorial, I am going to show you how to create custom app to edit product information in our Shopify store. Right friends? So I'll show you step-by-step guide how to create custom app, what all customizations are required, how to call Shopify admin API to update the product in our Shopify store. Right friends, so stay tuned and watch this tutorial till end. It is going to be very informative video. We are going to learn many things regarding the Shopify stores, Shopify admin, Shopify API, and more importantly Shopify custom apps. Right friends? Okay friends, so here is the agenda of this tutorial today, what I am going to cover. So I will explain you what is Shopify custom app is all about, how to create custom app, what is the different types of apps we have in Shopify, what is the prerequisite for this tutorial. I'll show you how to create custom app in Shopify, what are the API keys, secret and access token, what is the use of API key, secret and access token, how to write code for our custom app, then finally we'll be running and testing our custom app. So let me explain you what is Shopify custom app. Apps are used to enhance your Shopify admin or to add new features. Wherever we need a customization that Shopify offers, there we need a custom app. Shopify doesn't share the code base of their e-commerce engine. Hence, for any customization, so we use custom apps to add new features. So basically, there are three different types of apps in Shopify. First is public app. Public apps are the app that you list into a Shopify App Store, and many stores can download it, install it, but the public app has to go for a Shopify app review. That is mandatory. Second is custom app. Custom app can be used to add features to your Shopify admin or to extend your online store. We are going to add a new feature to our Shopify admin to update products using a custom storefront. Custom apps are built exclusively for your store, and custom app are not listed into Shopify App Store. Now third category is the draft app. Draft app are used by Shopify partner during the development program and can be installed only on the development stores for testing purpose. Right friends, what I am going to explain you in this tutorial is the custom app. So custom app is exclusively for your Shopify store to add features to your Shopify admin. So here is a prerequisite for this tutorial friends. You should have one development store. If you don't know how to create development store, then go and watch my previous video where I have explained you how to create development store. As you create one development store, you will have that store and also respective admin console. You would need node server. I'm using version 18. And then we need npm to build and compile our code. And I'm using VS Code editor to code my UI component. Okay friends, let's not waste any more time. Let's jump to the creation of the custom app. Let's log in into Shopify admin console for our store, and then I'll show you how to create the custom app. Okay, so I'm assuming you already have a Shopify development store, so you have to log in into the admin console of that store. This is the admin console of my store, that is Code One Digest store, right? And now we'll go to settings. To create one custom app, we have to come to settings, and then you should click on app and sales channel, and then we have to go inside the develop apps. So if you're doing it first time, it will ask you to allow creating custom app. So we have to allow custom app development. Other way of creating custom app is through CLI. What I am creating here is the embedded custom app. Embedded custom app means this app will only work in this particular store, in Code One Digest store. Okay, in this particular store, what you see here, only in this store. Okay, this embedded app will work only in this store. I will not have an installation link to install it in any other store. The one advantage of using this embedded custom app is we don't have to go via OAuth flow. If you create custom app through partner account or if you create custom app through CLI, then you have to implement the OAuth flow. But as this app is already embedded into the store, here we don't need that OAuth flow, authorization flow. Right, friends? Okay, so let's create a custom app here. Click on this create an app, give a name here, COD. This name I'm giving, and I'm the developer, and this ID is coming. Create a app. Right, so now you will see that app development having this COD custom embedded app created. On overview page you will see this information. Now very first thing that we have to do is we have to select the scope. What would be the scope of my app? Okay, so that we can do here in configuration. So let's say you want to update the product information through your custom app, so you need a product scope. If you want to update anything into your orders, then you need an order scope. So you can click on configure, and then you will have lots of scope available here for you to select. So what we want is the product. Okay, product. So I want access to read and write products, right? And I also want access to order, read and write orders, right? Now come down and say save. You will have access to the API where you can update product or get product, right? We'll also have access to the API which can or edit orders and read orders, right? Okay, now next thing that we have to do is go to API credentials. Here, this is very important and you should handle this with care. So here you have a API key. So this is API key and this is API secret. Save them so that you don't lose it and you don't leak it to anyone. You should not share this key and secret with anybody. Next is access token. Access token will be used to call Shopify admin API or store API. To call those APIs, we would need that access token. Custom app that we create via CLI or via partner program, there we have to go via OAuth flow to get the access token. Here the advantage is, as these are embedded app into only one store, so Shopify give you access token upfront. You can use this access token, you need not to go via OAuth flow. This is the basic difference between custom embedded app and custom app that we create from partner account and CLI. Okay, so to get the access token, I have to install this app. Then it will activate all the access, all the scopes for me. So click install, say install. Once it is installed, then only you will have a access token available for you, and it will reveal it only once. Okay, once you see it, copy it and save somewhere so that you don't lose it. This access token will be valid till you uninstall this app. If you uninstall and install, then your token will change. Okay, always remember. So as we have installed it, so we'll have this token. Let's say you uninstall it, then this token will not be valid anymore. Then you reinstall it, then you will get new token altogether, right? So as I have installed it, so I can reveal it and take the token here. I can copy and I'm keeping it safe so that I can use it later, right, friends? So now this is done. I'll show you how to use this access token to call the APIs. So we are pretty much done. So this custom app is available for you. Let me show you my store as well quickly so that we know for which store we are working on. You can click on online store. So it will take me to the online store. This is my development store, snow skiing store, and this is a catalog what I have, all the products I have here. The scenario that we are going to test in this tutorial is updating the product title using that custom app through API calls. Okay. So if I go here in the product, I will have a list of products. Let's say this is a product. So this is just an example just to show you the concept. Using that custom app, you can update any attribute you want for the product. You can get the product information. You can list all the product information. You can update the product information. I hope the concept is clear with you now. Friends, in the previous video, I covered how to create Shopify theme extension. In previous video, I explained you how to make changes into our storefront UI using Shopify theme app extensions, right? I explained you what is theme extensions, how can we make changes to it, Shopify theme. I explained you step by step how can you make changes to your UI component, how to add custom sections, custom block to your UI component, what are liquid files, how to edit it. So all of that we learned in the previous tutorial. How to create custom app for it, how to install it into our Shopify store. So all of that I have covered in my previous video. If you want to learn customization of the theme, then go and watch a previous video shown on your screen. Friends, I have also created a complete playlist on Shopify tutorials where I am covering various topics of the Shopify. How can we create our custom apps? What are the various concepts in Shopify store and e-commerce platform? So go and watch the complete playlist. It is very informative playlist. So now we have the custom app created. We have the token available for testing purpose. We'll call one API to get the products and see if our token is working fine or not. Let me do that. I'll open the Postman. I've opened my Postman, but before that, let me show you the API. So this is the Shopify product API. All the basic APIs are available. Create new product, retrieve a list of product, retrieve single product, retrieve count of product, update product. This is to get all the products. This is the API. So this is the endpoint, but we have to add a prefix to this URL. Let me show you that. So this is my endpoint, and now we have to prefix it with our store details. I'll show you how. HTTPS/store name. Okay, that will come. Then admin API. This is a version 2023-10 and products.json. This will list all the product that I have. And what is my store name? This is my store name. I have to put it here. Fine. And then we require a token to call this API. How to do that? Let me show you. Okay, so now we have a URL, but we have to pass access token to get the data or to fire the API. How can we do that? We have to pass access token like this in a header. Okay, -h is for header, and this is the header key. So this I have to take and use it with my token in header. Okay, let me go to my Postman. So now I'm in my Postman, and this is my Shopify tutorial. Add one get endpoint. This is the URL. Products.json will get me all the product available in that store. And then let me add a header. Here I have to add that header key and the token that we have taken from our custom app page. Let me copy that token, paste it here, right? Now we are ready to fire and see if this is working. Yes, so we got all the products now. That means our token is working fine. We got access to the admin API of Shopify store.
This is not rocket science.
So now using the APIs and token, I can get any data, any product data from that store. I can update any product data in that store. I can get any order information from that store. I can update any order information in that store. Friends, before we proceed in this video, I request you to subscribe this channel to grow Code One Digest family. Friends, I am creating a lot of quality videos on programming, coding concepts, design pattern and design principles, cloud and container technologies, but I'm not getting subscribers. I request you to like, share and subscribe this channel so that I can grow our Code One Digest family. Thank you. Now it's time to create UI that we can use to update product into our Shopify store. So this UI will be running into separate server and our store is running into Shopify cloud, right? So let me show you the code that I have written. This is my node application. get product button on click event. I am calling this get product, and this is the URL of getting all the product that we have tested in the Postman, right? So this is our final URL which is calling, and then in a header we are sending our access token key and the token value. Now what I'll do is I'll run this. So let me go to the folder where I have this. Let me open a command prompt here. Just say npm install. So it will install all the dependencies. It's ready. And now I'll say node server.js, right? Okay, so server is started. Now what I'll do is I'll open http localhost 3000. Yeah, so this form is open. On click of this get product button, I'll be fetching all the products that I have in Shopify. Let us test that if we are able to hit it, but I'll tell you we are not going to get a result here. I'll tell you the reason in a while. Okay, why this is not going to work. Okay friends, so it's not working. Let us see what is happening. So let me open the developer console. Okay, so the problem here is CORS, cross origin restrictions. Okay, we cannot make call from localhost UI component to Shopify API directly. Okay, because Shopify server myshopify.com is a different domain than localhost domain. Localhost domain is different than myshopify.com domain. Hence, directly we cannot make call from a UI which is running in localhost domain to a myshopify domain, because myshopify domain doesn't allow cross origin request. It blocks all the CORS requests. There is a strict CORS restrictions implemented by Shopify for security reasons. Hence, call from our localhost UI to Shopify server will not work. Or even if you run this UI into AWS cloud or Azure cloud, then also domain is going to be different than my Shopify. Hence, there also it is not going to work. So what is the solution to this problem?
What? I do not understand.
The solution to this problem is we have to run one more API server in the same domain as our UI running, that is localhost. So let's say we are running this UI into localhost. Now we also have to run one API server running into localhost, and then UI will call to our localhost API server, and then localhost API server will make call to Shopify API server, right? Let me draw and explain you what I'm trying to say. My UI is running into localhost domain and our APIs are in Shopify domain. So the direct call is not possible. Making call to Shopify is not possible. This will never work. It will give me a CORS problem, right? It will say cross origin restrictions in place, because Shopify server doesn't allow any call directly from a UI which is from a different domain than any other domain than Shopify. This is a very common problem that we see. The solution to this problem is we have to create one more component in the same domain as localhost. That means localhost API server. So this localhost and this localhost is the same domain. Hence, the UI now can make call to this localhost API. Here we don't see any CORS problem because the domain is same. As the domain is same, hence this UI can make call to this API. And second, on receiving request, this API can make call to Shopify API. So this is allowed. Call between API across the domain is allowed. Here there is no problem of CORS. Localhost API can make call to Shopify API, but localhost UI cannot make call to Shopify API because there is a cross origin problem. Got it? So now what we have to do is we have to create another localhost API server. It's just a pass through which will take the request from UI and pass it to Shopify and get the response back from Shopify to API and to UI. So I'll show you. I'm creating this API into Spring Boot server. This is now become a Spring Boot API, this is running in Node, and this is running in Shopify. And the domain of these two servers are same, hence there is no cross origin for UI to this API, and from API to Shopify API also there is no cross origin problem. Right friends, now let me create my API server.
Wow, that's amazing.
Okay friends, so now I am into my IntelliJ IDE. This is my Spring Boot microservice project where I have created one Shopify controller. So in this controller, I have two API, get and put. Get is to get the product and put is to update the product, right? So first let me explain you get. So my UI will be calling this get mapping by passing the product ID. I'll be fetching the data for one product instead of all the products. Now I'm creating the request here for my Shopify. Though you can read all this information from config, but just for demo, I am setting everything in the code so that it is easier to demonstrate. Setting the token key and value in the header. So I'm calling product and then I'm appending the ID. So this will fetch me one product I'm passing here. Now I'm using REST template to make call to this API. So REST template is a bean that you have to initialize in your main class, in your Spring Boot main class. You have to create that as a bean so that it will be available for you in a Spring Boot container. Okay friends, so this is about get. Now let's also see a put. So this is a put mapping. I will be updating the product. What I'll pass from the UI is the JSON, and what will be there in the JSON is product ID and a title information. So this information will come in form of JSON from a UI. It will come here in form of product object. Before going into the JSON structure, let me show you how the update product API looks like. So in this API, there is update product, update a product title. This is what we want to try. So I opened it up and there is an example given here. This is how you update the product. Your JSON start from here. You have to say product, then ID is this, title is this. So I'll take this JSON and we'll be forming our request object in the same structure. I have created the product entity. This product entity is having long ID and string title, right? And then this product entity is now set into root, where root is having only one attribute product. So it will be very similar to what we see here. Then after that I am creating HTTP entity. This HTTP entity having a root entity as an input and header. Finally, we're calling the REST template or exchange by passing the URL HTTP entity. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll run this application so that our API server is up and running. It's compiling the code. Yes, so API is started, and now what we'll do is instead of calling Shopify API directly in the UI component, we'll be calling Spring Boot API into this UI, and then Spring Boot API will call the Shopify API. Let me do some changes in my Node.js UI component. Okay, so this is my UI component, and I have made the changes here to get product method. Now I'm calling localhost 8080 Shopify get by providing the product ID, and this product ID is now coming from this text box. Okay, get product ID. This will get me the product as per the product ID, whatever product ID I provide. Next call is to update product. So I'm entering the product ID, and there is a new title that I'm entering in this text box. Same is coming here. I am reading product ID and I am reading product name. I am forming this JSON. ID is equal to product ID, title is equal to product name. Calling put method of my localhost 8080. I am using this JSON as a data. It will call Spring Boot API, and then Spring Boot API will call the Shopify API. Now let us do that. Let me restart my Node server. Let me go to my store admin and let me take some product ID. Let me close this, go to product. Let's assume I want to update the title of this product. So what is the product ID of this product? Do you see this product ID in the URL? This is the product ID. We'll test with this product where we'll make sure that this product title is changing. let me start my server now. Yes, I have started the server. Go to browser. Now let me load this, and just for reference I am printing that product ID here so that we can use it. Just copy this product ID and get the product information first. Let me hit this and call get. Yes, so see, we got the response. Okay, so this is the product information. I got the product information for this particular product ID. All these details belong to product, right? These are product. Now as we are able to get the product, now it's time for us to update the product. So I'll take the same product, I'll say this product ID, and I want to rename my product to, let's say, my product name testing. Okay, now I'll call this UI will make call to my Spring Boot API, and then Spring Boot API will make call to Shopify API for my store. Okay, let me do that. Yes, so it says it is updated. We got a response that this is updated. Let me go and validate that in my store if this product is updated or not. Let me go to product, right? See, this is the product. Now the name, you see, my product name testing, the same product 808802, and now the name got changed, the title got changed here, right? So this is how we are able to update the product information in store through Shopify Admin API.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
So this is just an example. App is just an example. Like this, you can create your custom app to make changes into your Shopify store data, be it order, be it profile, or be it product, promotion, discount, right? This is the very basic example what I shown you how things will work end to end, right? And I also explain you why you cannot make call to Shopify API directly from a UI because of CORS problem, right? Cross origin restrictions. So you need a UI component running, you need an API component running in the same domain, and then your API component should call Shopify API. I hope the concept is now clear how Shopify custom app work. What is Shopify custom app? What is Shopify embedded custom app? How it is different from other custom apps that you create from your partner account or from the CLI. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, so do subscribe to my channel to grow Code One Digest family. I will create more videos on the similar topic, and you can let me know what topic you want to cover in upcoming videos. I'll definitely create video on it, right friends? So keep coding, keep learning. Friends, I have uploaded all the code what I had demonstrated to you in this tutorial in a GitHub repository. So this is my Code One Digest repository, and this is a project, Shopify tutorial custom app development project. So you can come to this repository, then you will find the custom app UI code under this folder. It has all the required files. This is my HTML file where we have that form. This is server.js, which is running my node server, right? Package.json will have all the dependencies required for the node application, right? So this is a UI application for my custom app, and this is the Spring Boot controller and Java code that I wrote, right? So this is my controller, these are my domain object, these are DTO, root object. Inside that root I am using this product object. So just refer this, and this is my main application class for microservice where I have defined my REST template, right? So you can refer that code as well. So you need not to write the code from scratch. If you want, you can just clone this repository, download this code, and modify as per your requirement and start using it. So you can follow me easily in this tutorial with this ready to use code, right friends? so start using it now. Friends, if you like this video, so give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for the more interesting videos. Click on the bell icon for the latest video notifications and do not forget to share this video with all your friends and colleagues. This is very useful information for students, beginners and software engineers. I am putting a lot of efforts in creating these contents, so please help me growing the Code One Digest family. Please subscribe to Code One Digest channel for the latest programming and technology related videos. Thank you.